Alright, what is up, everybody? This is Zacharias. We are back again with more of Avernum 4. Greed and glory. Let's go ahead and continue here. This woman is working hard, breaking chunks of rock free from the cave wall with her pick. Then she examines them closely for anything of value. Sometimes she leans against the wall and presses her ear against the rock. There is a thick layer of stone dust on her face, adhered there by sweat. When you walk around the corner, she sets down her pick, happy for a short rest. Hello, visitor. I'm Tresha. I hope you're not here to rob us. I'll give you quite a fight, and we have nothing of value. When you assure her that you aren't a bandit, she smiles. Visitor, then. Nice to have company. What are you looking for? Anything. Anything that would justify hiring some workers and laying a claim on this pit. What sort of things would be valuable? Crystals, gold, even iron. Iron still has value down here. They have plenty of iron on the surface, sure, but it's not worth using the portals to bring it down here. Once, back in the day, Avernite warriors even used stone weapons. Can you imagine? Where will you go if you don't find anything? Somewhere else. We need to find a safe place first. Then we will have to wait for the sovereign cease to end so we can travel. We'll be here for a while, I think. Tresha continues to chat politely with you, but you begin to sense that she wants to get back to work. Sometimes as you chat, she presses her ear against the stone wall again and taps it with a chunk of metal. How long have you worked at this mine? Damien and I have only been here for a few weeks. We found some odds and ends, crystals that sold for enough to keep us fed. No real strike. Why do you keep listening to the wall? It's just a hunch. There are so many tunnels that haven't ever been explored yet. Sometimes cave quakes show them. Others we have to find. And your hunch is? I think there's a lot of tunnels to the north. Deep tunnels. Real quality claims. Just a hunch. I know. I don't know why, but I sense it. I come from Eschos in Fort Draco. He says that you have some metal for him. She sighs. And he had you hunt us down. Fine. We do owe him for the supplies we bought, but I wish we'd have a little more time before we had to pay. She leaves the tunnel for a minute and then returns with some metal bars. This is most of what we saved up before we came here. Hope that lizard is happy with it. She hands you the metal. Now let me be, would you? Now I really need to find a new strike. Man, I wonder if I could... This twisted, barely domesticated creature is what happened to dogs after a few generations in the hostile, magically charged environs of Avernum. It paces back and forth, guarding the entrance to the cave to the north. After a few experimental sniffs, it lets you by. As you pass, it watches you intensely, ready to defend its master if necessary. Okay. I have some high quality steel for you. Eschos takes the metal, inspects it, and nods. Yes, this is good. This is what I need. Good halberts will come from this, which will help. I should pay you for this. I have thing I forged that I can spare now that I have more metal. He removes a pair of new iron bracers from a cabinet and hands them to you. Here, wear safely. Okay, so we got that. Okay, this is definitely better than iron, so we'll put that on. Bronze. Okay, we'll put that on him. And before we go up and do the quest, let's go ahead and buy more of this improve the spell since we have a lot of money right now. Go back to this hedge wizard. Alright, got icy rain and slow improved. Yeah, just the Fort Draco mines are the only ones we need to clear out right now. Metal Forgotti, Translate Scrolls, Monetize Crystal, Potion Master rank. Message to Formello. You are at the outskirts of an old abandoned mine. It was probably played out and the miners moved on. It has seen unusual activity since then. There are bones scattered around on the ground. It's a strange jumble. Some of the bones are old and some are new. The collection represents every species in the underworld that has a skeleton. It seems like someone hauled these bones out here and dumped them. Why would anyone do that? You hear an eerie scraping noise coming from the north and south. Some of the bones on the ground have started to move around. They slide across the stone floor under their own power. Clumps of bones start to gather together. You realize what they are doing, assembling themselves into creatures. You're able to kick some of the clumps apart before they assume a coherent form, but you aren't fast enough to reach all of them. The resulting skeletons have a comical appearance. Each is a crude dog's breakfast of bones assembled from random skeletons. Head of a lizard, arm of a goblin, spine of a snake, that sort of thing. As they lurch towards you, you see that they are quite silly, yes, but also dangerous. Okay, let's wipe them all out then. You are at the entrance to what was once a huge mine, one of the largest in the entire northern region. Those who worked it are long gone. The valuable deposits were played out, and there was nothing left to sustain decent folk. Most of Avernum is quite warm. The caves are heated by subterranean steam vents. They keep the air warm and moist, and nourish a wide range of mold and fungus. The air in this mine, however, is cold, dry, and still. It is deathly quiet. The echoing sounds of bats and lizards are completely absent. You can't even hear dripping water. Only a 10% chance of success. Okay. Pick up tools. After being hassled by skeletons outside, you aren't surprised to find a shade back here. It is a wispy, insubstantial thing. It's barely able to hold itself together. What does surprise you is that it isn't hostile. When you get close, it drifts up to you, and it just stops, waiting. It radiates a gentle, magical presence. When it is close, you feel stronger and more confident. You are filled with a feeling of purpose, as if it is encouraging you to explore. The shade doesn't say anything, it just silently hovers. Okay, interesting. Okay, I didn't mean to click on the shade again. I'm just trying to, like, explore the immediate area out here. More skeletons. I'm pretty sure the undead are going to be immune to ice, so that's why I'm not using my icy wave right now. What the heck? Yeah, let me check it real quick. Okay, so it can damage that. Mental poison, magic. Wait, can the skeletons be damaged by icy rain? Okay, cool. Yeah, in past Avernum games, they were immune to ice. But I guess Jeff changed it. Okay, at least my ghost friend is backing me up here. $50 health, 11 energy. Ooh, nice. Come on. Target space too far away. Are you kidding me? Okay. Alright, good to know that the skeletons and undead aren't immune to ice like they were in previous Avernums this time. But then again, I can just right click to see what they're immune to or not immune to. A disc with the Rager edge, throw missiles for that one. I don't have throw missiles. that's a ghoul right there. I thought that was another skeleton. Oh man, I actually didn't attack with the javelin. Oh, I do have thrown missiles on a... both my spellcasters, but not nearly enough to... That's not nearly enough ammo, though, to be able to use with them, and they only have... They don't have that level anyway. Now that I think about it, I probably should go ahead and raise their thrown missiles up a little bit. There's a lot of undead in this section alone right now. Oh, I didn't mean to attack again with the... Dang it, I keep thinking that Dante can attack. Even though he can't. Zach, why do you keep doing... Wait, why the heck could Dante not attack? What the heck? Was he still slowed down? I don't even remember. Hooray, even more undead. Oh wait, I have Pool of Fire, I can use that. Are they two in range? Okay, it doesn't look like they are. More bars of iron. Blow the helmet. Gold bar, more crystals. The cabinet is full of soil and rock samples. There are chunks of stone and dirt, each labeled with the section of the mine they were found in. They were waiting to be taken for alchemical analysis when the mine was closed. There is also a burlap sack. Inside it, you find something very interesting. It is a green crystal spiral about 8 inches long. It is not natural. Someone carved it with great skill and care. It is a beautiful piece of workmanship, marred only by a small chunk that broke off its base and was lost. You put it into your pack. No use letting something so lovely gather dust here. Okay, cool. Oh, why are you in my way, ghost? Wait, how was I able to open that door? Did it open it for me? Okay, so the wispy shade is trying to help me here. Wait, does somebody need that crystal? Maybe I can bring her that. Alright, finally found another energy potion at least. Slime stained tunic. Let's put that on her then. So yeah, my little shade friend is helping me out here. Okay, we can't get in that way. This opening ahead has been sealed by a magical barrier. Only powerful wizards, especially enchanted crystals, can break these powerful barriers. Well, I happen to have one of those right there. Let's do that. This large chamber is freezing cold. Your feet slip slightly on the icy ground. The cavern is occupied, and though the air is freezing, it is also suffused with magical energy. The center of the hall is patrolled by a huge construct, clumsily assembled from the moss and wood of the underworld. Its legs are sturdy trunks, and its arms are branches covered with thorns. The construct paces back and forth. It hasn't noticed you yet. At the far end of the cave, surrounded by glowing crystals, you see a tall, insubstantial humanoid shape. It is still. You are close enough to see the shade at the east end of the cavern, floating in a magic circle. The shade's chest glows. There is something inside it, giving the thing power. It is surrounded by a magical laboratory. All the lab components were snuck down here with great difficulty. A crystal conduit leads to the magic circle, still providing it with power. Whatever work was being done here, it has concluded. Most of the tools and valuable supplies have been taken away. All that is left are the defenders waiting to destroy investigators. Okay, so... Alright, let me check something real quick. Spray Venom, Wraith Form. You get close to the Spectre. It stands inside a magical circle, etched into a low platform. When you get close, the shade flows towards you, hands outstretched. As it walks, lacy patterns of ice crystals cover the stone at its feet. The Spectre is utterly silent. However, as it moves, bones on the ground begin to assemble. The mere presence of this creature inspires the dead back to life. Alright, what is this? Alright, resistant to mental and poison. The Spectre waves his hands in a complex motion. The bones around you rattle against each other more quickly. Then, as you watch in alarm, several clumps of them form into crude humanoid shapes. They are randomly assembled. Wolf skulls on goblin rib cages with lizard tails. The fresh, mismatched skeletons clumsily lurch towards you. Okay, which one do I want to use? Okay, why don't we... Let's summon some... Need to get some backup here. Actually, let's do this. What the heck? More skeletons? Well, we definitely have to kill this Spectre quick. No, I didn't want to hit him. Dagnabbit. Okay. Hit them. Your blow passes through the specter, knocking something loose in the center of his chest. Whatever it was, it falls to the ground behind it with a clinking sound. At last, the supply of energy that held the creature together gives out. It emits a long, drawn-out, agonized moan. Your first clue, it might have once been something living. Then the shade dissolves into nothingness. On the floor behind it, you can see what it left behind. The power source inside his chest was a long crystal shard. When it hit the ground, it shattered into many pieces. Okay. Well, no time to celebrate. Yeah, I still have to kill these skeletons. The benevolent shade that was following you around starts to dissipate. It no longer has the energy to hold itself together. Oh, well. Well, at least it backed us up while it could. Well, that was a crazy fight. A lot of bones there. One sword mage. Ooh, should I give this to her then? Let's go ahead and put it on. Give that to him. Each level enables you to wear more armor and still be able to cast mage spells. Okay, interesting. I still would prefer to wear the magic armor though, since it gives bonuses to her spells. Ooh, healing elixir. Speed elixir. Dang, now we're getting the good stuff. Knowledge brew. Drinking this brew accelerates your thoughts for a short time, enabling you to learn from your recent experiences. Okay, let's go ahead. Wait, is that XP? There is a crystal pillar in this room. It is about 7 feet high and 3 feet wide. It was not part of the original mine. Someone dragged it down here recently with great difficulty. It's a lovely stone, a deep shade of blue, and it glows from within. Faint lights dance under its surface. When you get close, the lights change. The flickering lights resolve themselves into a tall, thin, vague, humanoid shape. It's not a trick of the light. It's indistinct, but it's real and looking at you. You watch the figure. It watches you. There is a long pause. Then it starts to wave its hands, or whatever they are, around. It's trying to do something. After a bit more hand-waving, the figure is still. You hear a soft voice coming from the stone. It is flat and raspy, as if the living rock suddenly started to talk to you. Yes, it says. The malefactors are gone. The Avernites retaking. Chamber. The voice cuts out occasionally, coherent words replaced by a soft hissing sound. I'm not going to question it. Let's just wait and listen. The voice continues. Eventually, there is a brief time when you can understand it. Not matter. There was a hissing sound. Whether the lost one kept it or surrendered it, no effect. But we have a contact. You must know that. Then a long stretch of hissing sound. Then the voice resumes. Not effective. No. Must later. Must mark this one. Mark as not aiding the lost one. Yes. Mark me. Wait. The glowing figure becomes brighter and clearer. The room grows warm. The ice on the crystal melts and turns to steam. You suspect this conversation will not much longer. Come. Quickly. Touch the stone. We'll mark you as between wanting hiss. Hiss. All. For justice, touch the stone. Just touch it. You step forward and place your hand on the stone. The crystal begins to vibrate. Then it grows very hot. You consider running, but you aren't fast enough. Two things happen at once. A large crack appears in the face of the crystal, reaching from the floor to the tip. A flash of light lances out of its surface, striking your wrist. It is horribly painful, but it only lasts for a minute. The light fades and the chamber is silent. The crystal is completely dark now. Whatever just happened, the energy was too much for the device to withstand. You look at your wrist. At first, it looks unchanged, but when you look closer, you see that there is indeed a mark there. It's only clear if you see it from the correct angle. A slight discoloration and a complicated looping pattern. If you didn't know what to look for, you would never notice it. Very strange. Hopefully someone somewhere can tell you what just happened. Okay, I just got an achievement. Accept the mark from the Vanatai. Ooh, interesting. I wonder if that Vanatai that was in the that is in Fort Draco can tell me what it is. Watch it be like some crazy curse I have to remove or something. First, let me go ahead and explore the rest of the area. You know, I have 5 lamps here. Let's go ahead and does it matter what kind of, they all light at 150, so it doesn't matter really if, which, sort of light source to pick up, or is it just cosmetic? Oh. More undead to fight, I should have known. But yeah, I am very confused right now, but also quite intrigued. Oh, come on, more skeletons? Well, I am exploring, like, these, lower sections, so... You can improve your knowledge of the spell Bolt of Fire here. Ooh, nice. Got that. So many freaking buttons, too. Okay, cool. So, looks like I got all the sections now. Except it looks like not this middle one. But this was just another area to go down anyway. Okay, cool. Okay, whatever that Vanatai thing was, that shade or whatever, for justice, I hope that means that's a good thing. I took the mark. I investigated the undead tunnels to the northeast. Anford listens to your story first with interest, then alarm. He asks you to tell him the entire story again. And that crystal pylon. You say it wanted to mark your hand. Yes, I let it. You did? Bold choice. He inspects your hand, then he makes a copy of the symbol on a scrap of parchment. Knowing what we do now, we need to act. Act how? I admit it, I am far out of my depth. I need to pass you to a higher authority. Despite the risk, I need you to go to Formello. The castle needs to hear of this. He writes a few sentences on a piece of paper and hands it to you. Take this to Formello. No matter what is happening, these orders should get you through the gates. You may need supplies for the journey. I will have the armory unlocked. Safe travels on your journey. Go quickly. I suspect that there is a conspiracy against Avernum. You have found the first solid evidence of it. He thanks. And before you go, perhaps there is someone you should be sure to talk to. Do you have any other missions for me? Of course. Consult the job board just outside. I make frequent use of it. You said that there is someone I should talk to? He speaks quietly. There is a Vonatai here, in Fort Draco. I try not to let the news out. The mob can act strange when it is stressed. Tell me more. His name is Polis. He has a chamber in the tunnels under the fort. Try to speak with him before you go. He is very, very friendly, and I think he'd like to hear about this crystal you found. Okay, well, actually I kind of figured I would talk to him about that. Oh, sweetness, so he gave me more access to more of this. Even though I'm kind of beyond the... Okay, well, at least I'm getting more lockpicks, at least, too. Unless I can also unlock this over here. Nope, that ain't it. No jobs currently available. I was in a ruined mine to the north. I talked to a crystal. You tell Polis about the mine. He listens carefully, making sure that you explain any words he doesn't understand. Finally, he says, that should not be. His speech becomes simple and awkward in his unease. Where crystal? What say? It was in an abandoned magical workshop. There was a huge shade. They were working crystals. You describe everything. No lie, Vonatai. Sound Vonatai work, but real? Pretend? A trick? No say. It said I had removed some malefactors. He explained what malefactors means. Strange word. For Vonatai, I mean. Voice a friend? Peace friend? Maybe you do good. It marked my hand. I see. Would see close. My hand has a mark. Polis's mouth makes a perfect little O of surprise. That is Vonatai writing. Vonatai work is a mark of allegiance. So strange. Strange. A mark of allegiance? Yes, we Vonatai can argue. Big argue. Great conflict. Then there are factions. These marks show your faction. You chose a faction, human. Polis holds up a hand. You see that it has a mark that matches yours. We both are bound to Gal Irno now. I serve him in secret at first. Since he came to Avernum, I accept my mark. Why is it so strange to see one? This is Vonatai work. Vonatai fight. Vonatai answer. A mark on a human? Never done. At least, not until now. Not until there is a great dispute, one with humans involved. How do I get it removed? Polis lets out a screechy little laugh. You do not. It is magic. When Vonatai takes mark, takes side in history struggle. Such choice must be held until the struggle is settled. What does the writing say? Polis looks closely, says the ground shakes, says chaos, danger, says things not done, must change, say all is not good, not evil, not dark, says work must be done. So strange. Gal Earno. Okay, interesting. Hope that means it's a good thing that I accepted the mark since I can't remove it. Okay, sell all junk. No jobs currently available, so why don't we go over... Now, I think it's time to head over to Formello. I mean, we could probably go through that way, but let's go down here. There is a small band of Avernite soldiers watching the road here. Even for sentries, they are unusually ragged and dirty. As you try to pass, one of them stops you. Hold it there, he says. We have to inspect everyone in this road, coming or going from Formello. As he speaks with you, you notice that the sentries are examining you carefully. Is this because of the sovereignties? He looks very confused for a moment. Then he says, oh, yes, the cease. That is why. I have papers of passage here. He barely glances at them. Doesn't matter. Everyone coming in or out needs to be inspected. The other warriors lean forward, ready to leap to their feet. All right, go ahead. The guard circles you, giving you a close inspection. He acts very thoughtful, as if trying to decide what to do about you. The other sentries are very tense. Then you notice something. Though they are wearing Avernite armor, it isn't correct. Their uniforms are mismatched. Some of the armor is torn and stained as if looted from a battlefield. Avernite soldiers can be very scruffy, but not like this. You notice, they notice, you notice. Before you can ask any inconvenient questions, they draw their weapons. Oh, yep. Brigands. That's what you get, punk. Get out of my way. You want to get out of my way. Dang, we killed him like... Did real critical damage to that one. Okay. Also, yeah, why would he have not known about the sovereignties? I mean, I kind of should have picked up on that, actually. Yeah, that's what you'll get, punks. Get into my way like that. Okay, ooh, bronze. Chain. Put that on her. Alright. Well, it looks like we have to take a couple things off here. I guess this as well. Just so he has a... Let's get to Formello, hopefully. You emerge into the western end of an enormous cavern. This cave is full of farms and settlements. It is dominated by the city of Formello, filling the center of the enormous chamber. Formello is the largest city in northern Avernum, a busy center of trade, learning, and culture. You had a brief, pleasant stay here on the way to Fort Monastery. However, since you were here, something has changed. There is a strange energy, a tension in the air. Most of the farmers are not in the fields. The barricades aren't guarded. Something is wrong. How much closer are we, though? Okay, same thing. You are outside the gates of Formello, the largest city in northeastern Avernum. It is a huge trade center full of skilled craftsmen. It also boasts one of the few schools of magic in all of Avernum. It is eerily quiet. Because of the sovereign cease, you didn't expect much traffic at the gates. However, little else is happening. The streets are empty and quiet. You want to investigate more, but the gates are closed. When you peer through them, a very nervous guard emerges from a nearby guardhouse. He says, "I'm sorry, because of the shade, the mayor has barred all outsiders from entering without orders. It just makes things too dangerous for the people here. I am sorry, go away." He tries to leave. Before he can get away, you jam the letter you got in Fort Draco through the bars. He reads it twice. "You have to enter. I must let you in. You had best behave." He gives an order for the gates to be opened, then he leaves. You enter the city of Formello and take a look around. Your first impressions were correct. The city is covered with a blanket of fear. The streets are empty. Everyone is hiding inside. An occasional face peers out a window at you and then ducks back into the shadows. There is a deep chill in the air. The whole town is afflicted. As you look around, a guard emerges and approaches you. He doesn't get close, though, as if he's afraid you carry disease. He says, "I'm sorry, traveler. The city is closed. You need authorization to enter." You show him the papers you got from Fort Draco. He reads them over and nods. "Alright, if this turns out to be important, I don't want to be busted down for keeping you out. You should see the mayor. City Hall is near the west gate." And before he flees back indoors, he says, "And stay away from the park in the center of town." He points to the northeast. That's where it comes. When it comes, it will return. It always does. Before you can ask what he means, the guard runs back indoors. Sign says City Hall. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm going to make sure the game is saved right here. And I'll see you on the next part.